Hi everyone. I'm sure you're thinking, what the hell is she doing live on Facebook? On what is for me, I don't know where you are in the world, but for me it's Friday night. It's a few minutes to 10, so it's late. Um, but I'm an introvert, so I think that's my excuse. Um, okay, so what am I doing here? Well, first of all, as I'm sure you can hear from my voice, this is my first Facebook Live. So I'm sure I'll talk way too fast, and the first time I speak to a group um, or whatever, I can hear it in my voice. Sounds a little weird, sounds a little constricted. So bear with me. Um, I'm just trying this new thing. And it's scary. It's very scary. But hey, so what am I doing here? Well, for the past couple of months, I've been thinking of ways to connect to my clients and to my broader audience in a new way, because I can write blogs, and I've written blogs. I have a newsletter that I haven't been faithful about at all because it was summer. But that's all very static. That's like you write, you send it out, very little interaction. So I've been thinking of ways how to make this more spontaneous, first of all, and also more interactive, hopefully. I mean, that very much depends on you, whether it's going to be interactive. Um, and also, what I've been looking for is an outlet to talk about mindset. Um, the writer's mindset in particular, but also just mindset. So our personal mindsets. Um, and how did I came upon that topic? Well, in this, it's been longer, but for the past year I've been taking this very seriously. I've been reading loads of books about mindset, and not just about the author mindset. I'm sure some of you know this book by Joanna Penn. She's from the Creative Pen, and I highly recommend it. um, but I've not only been reading books about becoming a better writer. I've been reading books um, about personal growth, about tackling fears, about dealing with being your own worst enemy. And I think most of us know that we are our own worst enemies. Um, so let's say about a year ago, I took this path very seriously. I started on this path because what I realized is that for years I've had trouble taking myself serious as a writer, as a creative person. Because of course I'm a writer, but I'm also an editor, I'm a coach, a writing coach in particular, and I'm also a translator. And these are all very these are creative endeavors. Um, and what I realized was that I was blocking myself, and I still am. I mean, I'm still on this journey. I haven't reached the destination yet. Um, and as I was unraveling, so the reasoning and my blocks behind this, why can I not take myself seriously as a creative person? What I realized is that most of my thoughts and most of these blocks actually boiled down to fear. And when I started looking at this pattern of fear, like at these fearful thoughts, what I realized is that most of those boil down to having a lack of self-worth. And of course, lack of self-worth is not new. I mean, every other self-help book, maybe all of them these days actually, are about how we as people have a lack of self-worth, that we, like in this society, the way it is, we have a lack of self-worth. So all these books are about rediscovering our self-worth. And that is actually what I've been doing. I've been reading these books to tackle these doubts, to tackle my fears, and to become the person who I think I can become, to reach the potential that I think I have. So this is my invitation to you to join me on this journey. But also, what I want to offer to you is that I want to share this journey with you, this journey of personal growth, with the aim eventually to find out how to handle the question. And I'm sure you know this question, the who am I to question. Who am I to create? Who am I to write this book? Who am I to be this person? Who am I to think this? Who am I to say that? Who am I to add anything to this debate? I know you know this question, and I'm sure most of you struggle with it as well. So that is this. So that is this. What this video is about. It's me inviting you, or me sharing with you this journey. And I have no idea yet what this is going to look like. As I said, this is my first Facebook Live. There is a chance that by the end of this video, I will never, ever, ever return to Facebook Live ever again, because it freaked me out. It is freaking me out. I mean, seriously, this is scary stuff. But that said, I have no idea what this is going to be. I've been brainstorming it. I thought I needed a plan on beforehand, like I will read from this book and then I'll talk about this and then I'll talk about that. And then I thought, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show up every week, I hope, and just talk about something that I want to reflect on there in that moment. I will try always to make the link to being a writer explicit, because you are my audience. Writers are my audience. So I will always try to make that link explicit, no matter what book or what meme or what poem or whatever I will bring to you. I will try to make the link explicit. If I don't make that link explicit, please know that for me, this is always already linked. It's like, as a writer, I mean, your physical health is important, but your sanity is important as well. And of course, that's exactly what this book is about. That she calls it the successful author mindset. The successful author is someone who has their sanity, who hasn't lost it yet, or at least knows how to regain it when they're about to lose it. I mean, we'll lose it a little sometimes. So if I don't make it explicit, to me it's always already linked. Like have like this personal growth, this being able to deal with that who am I to question. That question to me is so linked to being a creative person. Because that is the reason why I wasn't creating, why I wasn't sharing my work, because who am I? Who am I to, I mean, I can write down these words like in my office and nobody knows it, but who am I to then ask people to read it? Who am I to put it out in the world? Who am I to think I have something worth saying? And that has, to me, that has to do with my personal growth, but also with me being a creative person. So for me, there's always a link. If you at one point, if I continue these videos and at one point you're like, what the hell are you talking about? How is this even remotely connected to being a creative person or a writer? Just ask me in the comments and I will tell you. Or I'll aim to tell you. So if you have something, as I said, so I have no format for this. I will probably wing it as I'm doing. See, I'm a university teacher, so I give lectures, and what I always do is I write down my entire lecture and I bring it, so it's with me, and I know it by heart as well, but I always have the text with me. So now I'm just looking at this sort of A4 page with just a few scribbles on it, so I'm going almost completely top of my head here, which is also very scary for me because I don't trust my intuition. I don't trust that I say the right things at the right time. So that's a new thing, and I'm trying to embrace that. I'm trying to learn that. So since there is no format at all, and I will just probably maybe the night before I do this or on the day itself, I don't know what time slot I'm going to do this at. If you have something that you want me to reflect on, or you have a question that you want me to think about and talk about, just let me know. Because I know this is a even though I know this has the potential to become very interactive, I also know there's the potential that this is just me monologuing and you just looking at me, if you are looking at me. But I'm thinking that a conversation is much more useful. Sharing. If there's one thing I learned in the past year, I've met so many people on the same path or a similar path that I'm on, and I've met some really great people often online. And just sharing your stories is very healing. It's also very so sharing their stories is very healing, but sharing stories together is very empowering. Um, so if we can turn this into a conversation, I think that will be helpful for both of us. Um, so last thing I want to do before I call it quits and just sort of probably crawl under a blanket somewhere and tell myself I've been ridiculous doing this. This is a poem that I want to share that's on my wall. It's this, I'll read that to you from Nikita Gill. And when I read this poem, that for me, and that's also one of the reasons why I want to try to connect in a more direct way to my audience and my clients, is of this poem. Because when I read this poem, I had this sort of, yes, this is what I need to do. This is what I'm here for. This is my purpose. So for me, this very much connects to what I'm doing here. So let me read it to you. So as I said, it's by Nikita Gill. She's one of those poets that you see on Instagram, like not Instagram, Pinterest all the time. So I'm sure you know her name. So, and it's from her book. So she has one book out, I think, now, or if she has two out now, it's from the first book. Okay, so the title's Magic. So it goes. The greatest wish I have ever had is to create with words what wizards cannot, and what magic never has. The most elegant bond I can ever pray for is aiding in the recovery of someone who is made of wreckage, and facilitating their becoming their own hero in their story. And when I read this poem, for me that was the moment that I thought, I'm done searching for a purpose. I know what I need to do. So that is one of the reasons why I'm here, and I'm hoping that I can get over myself and can get used to this, and that this is useful to you as well. Because I mean, I'm doing this for you. I'm hoping this is useful for you. I'm not necessarily doing this for myself. So I'm hoping that in this I will help and facilitate you becoming better writers, more productive writers, more happy writers. So let's see what my journey brings us. This journey brings us. And if you have any comments, please let me know. Have a good weekend.